and then we start talking about fitness, and then my ego gets in the way, so I start challenging him.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I could totally, outcompete you. This guy's in a competition. I'm like, fuck, there's no way.
Let's just try to be you, do what you can, and how you can be better. And it's so funny, I beat my time.
All right.
Cool. Rahul,
Welcome back.
we got a guest today. Sahil.
Sahil.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, brother?
Sahil and his sidekick Arlo.
Arlo, yes.
Arlo.
Dude, one of the comments that we've gotten on this podcast is we give the best handshakes.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's why I made sure I had a good handshake with you guys.
That is a nice hand.
I think a handshake says a lot about a person. It's so funny. I talk to so many people. You could have the weirdest handshake like this. Automatically you feel different.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I feel uncomfortable when people do that.
It's just that I feel like it says a lot about the person's, not that you want to judge them, but it tells you a lot about it feels like you could tell something about their character.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
What I would
have gotten the limp hand?
Oh yeah, exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, hi.
Hi, yeah.
Those are-
Especially when a man does it.
Yeah,
Those are
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
There's
Ladies
also
do that. I think women will just like, hey.
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit, yeah.
But men do it, and then I'm just like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
In India, the harder the handshake,
Yeah.
the more love, and then they'll go in for the hug, right?
Yeah.
If they give you just like a straight, just like open hand,
Yeah.
and there's no squeeze, it's just the relationship is not built there, and that's just the way culturally it works over there.
Yeah.
So you know how tight people are over there just by doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I'm a left-handed person, so I always would shake my hand with the left hand. And I think my dad, as a kid, taught me to do it with my right hand.
Oh
That's
wow.
That's how people typically shake hands, right?
Right.
So with the right hand.
Has it become natural now, or?
Yeah, for sure it has. But again, I do everything with my left hand, like right with my left.
Yeah, you're a
dribble
left
the ball
shooter
with
too.
my left. Yeah.
So you took pictures after your competition. You did a photo shoot.
Yeah.
And I thought your picture was actually flipped. I didn't know you were left-handed until then because left-handed people are more creative.
Yeah.
Left-handed more creative, right?
That's what they say. Yeah. I do feel like I have a bit of creativity in me, but I'd have to do something creative as well, right, to bring that person out.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so crazy. So I totally forgot that you trained for a long time.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing.
Yeah, all training
Like you were competing.
Oh yeah. It's so funny, man. I competed first in 2014. Obviously competing wasn't gonna pay my bills, so I stopped competing. I started focusing. That's when I finished school for home inspections. Got a job with another company. I worked for them for a couple of years, but again, I had to focus on my career, get ahead in my life, and competing actually takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot of time, and it's not cheap for someone who's trying to make it or do something with their life, right? But again, I just did it last year. I want to do it again. So again, everything's got to line up in order for me to do it, because you got to set aside time.
Right.
You mentally got to be there, focus. You got a business to run. There are other things that are more important to me too, but again, you have to put time aside, and you pretty much have to plan it.
Yeah, I feel like you're always doing something. Anytime I call you, you're either working, you're taking care of your family, or you're prepping and training.
Yeah.
So, I've always thought about, even for our business, is what comes first? Is it the discipline or is it the work? Like how are you putting those two together? Are you focusing more on like what we need to do day to day?
Yeah.
Or are you just disciplined in waking up on time and just whatever comes?
You know what? I don't even. People always tell me, Sahil, you're very disciplined. I don't even know where I've got my discipline from.
Yeah.
I think I got it when I was younger. When I was really good at Taekwondo. With my parents had put me in there. But for me, it's mostly just having the passion. So you having the passion to do things and wanting to get things in life, then even the days you're not motivated, you're able to do the things you don't want to do. Like sometimes I just don't want to cook my chicken. I want to go eat out, right? But
you never eat out.
But then
Sahil want to go out? No, I can't.
He just has wait until Sunday, and we're gonna get some burgers and some cheesecakes. And
cookies. Cookies, exactly.
Cookie monster.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't, you've tried it.
Yeah.
You ever been to Fresh Street Market?
No.
I gotta get you one, man.
Yeah, we gotta
it's so funny. I at one point in my life, I was marketing the Fresh Street cookies so much. If I had marketed my own business that much, I'd probably be a lot more successful.
Part of your brand has become like you're the cookie guy.
Yeah.
Cookie inspector, because you're handing out cookies left, right, and center.
Yeah.
I love gift baskets, and we're just surprised. We're just happy with a couple of couple packs of cookies. A couple of them.
Yeah, it's so funny. Sometimes I'd go to an inspection and something happens, it gets canceled, and like, oh, we feel bad, like, do you want us to pay something? I'm like, you know what, don't worry, just get me a cookie next time.
Yeah. And cookies showed up?
Say that again?
Cookies always show up.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, man.
Look, he's playing with my shoe.
Yeah.
Yo, how did you end up with a dog?
Yeah.
Of all the things, you go to sleep at 9:30, wake up super early, 4:30, 5 o'clock to start your day.
Yeah.
You're on the road, and now you're lugging around a little baby.
Right.
You know what? I always wanted a pet. I always wanted a dog. And, just having someone there as a companion. This guy, he's a true personality though, man. True character, even he's such a puppy still.
Just like you?
But I think he's got more personality than me, man. That's for sure. But
I have this memory of Sahil. This is a few years back. We were at a family party, and Sahil pulls up in his Corvette.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, the black one.
It was white, I think.
No, it's black.
It's black.
It was black one, yeah.
Do you still have that Corvette?
No, I don't.
So he pulls up, and then we're in his car, we're hanging out, he's showing us the Corvette, it goes really fast. I think I was pretty young at this time.
Yeah.
And then we start talking about fitness, and then my ego gets in the way, so I start challenging him.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I could totally, outcompete you. This guy's in a competition. I'm like, fuck, there's no way.
Little did he know.
Do you remember that at all?
Oh, I remember that. I remember you even tried to come. You were telling me you were playing basketball. I still remember you wanted to go play You were playing basketball at Sun God. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna come there. I'm gonna play with you. I have to play with you, man. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go for sure. I'll go for sure. But I don't think it worked out ever.
No.
Yeah.
We're just super competitive, and we're family, so it's just.
Do you think it's entrepreneurs that are just naturally more competitive, or is it just people that are competitive are willing to do things outside of the box or challenge people? Like, I get that, where I just want to challenge people.
Yeah.
Where somebody will say something, and I'm like, I'll do better. Somebody will say, I'm going to make 50 phone calls today. I'm going to talk to 50 people. I'm like, man, 50 is nothing. I'm doing 60. And then I'm thinking in my head, like, why did I challenge this person for no reason, right?
Yeah.
Some people are only competitive towards things that they actually care about.
Yeah.
And then other people are just competitive towards
just for the sake of it.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I just remember that.
It's so funny. I would go to grouse grind and do the mountain. Like I used to do it like at least 15 times a year. Like I was like fanatic about it. I'd wake up in the morning, go do it. Every time I was trying to beat my time, and I would not let anybody pass me. I'm like, there's no way. I'm not gonna let it happen, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was partly my ego too at the same time. And then my time would just stick in one place. I would not get better than that. For some reason, one day I'm like, you know what? Let's just try to be you. Do what you can and how you can be better. And it's so funny. I beat my time. I stopped chasing other people. Stopped chasing the person ahead of me, or thinking about, I can't be anxious about somebody passing me. But the moment I started focusing on myself, and I actually beat my own time.
The worst part about the grind is that there's always this mom with a baby on her back, like a 2 or 3 year old.
Yeah.
She'll lap you.
She'll outshine you.
Yeah.
I've done it a few times. So every time there's always this mom with the kid on her back.
Yeah, or like an old man, right?
An old man. And they're going by you. They're like, hey, how you liking the hike? I'm like, they're going,
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. No, I remember that time where you were posting very frequently on Instagram.
Yeah.
I was watching you get better and better times. I remember like 45 and then better.
Yeah.
So, no, I do remember that. It's funny because I've gotten into like the social media stuff kind of more recently.
Yeah.
Probably within the 1 to 2 years. You were on it really early.
Yeah, I was.
I don't know if you knew that. Was that intentional or did that just happen?
I was probably, I didn't know, like to me, it's, when I go to social media on my personal account, to me, it's more so just having fun. Let's just have fun with it. That was the biggest thing about it. I don't try to get into too many controversial conversations because it can go really badly too at the same time, right? So I'm like, why don't we just use it for fun? Like I want to enjoy it. Like let's just use it for. Home inspections is so personable when people want to hire you. Always, you're the name of the company, and the way you treat your company, nobody else would. Right.
You were like the example of how to market online.
Yeah.
Without trying to market. And maybe you were trying.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
He was just so good at it. I just remember your cars everywhere, the logos, the purple logo.
Yeah.
Company.
Yeah.
And I just remember seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, this guy's crushing the game.
Yeah, it's so funny. The realtor just not too long ago told me, he's like, you would pick up the phone every single time. Where's my Google review? You got to give me my Google review, right? But, Google reviews help quite a bit. Yeah.
But that was when you first started in the business.
Yeah.
You were actually working in your business before, and actually you've transitioned where you're working on your business now.
Yeah.
So you've got multiple home inspectors.
Yeah.
Right? You had part-time assistant at one point.
Yeah.
You've had multiple vehicles, multiple equipment.
Yeah.
And now you're at the point where you can actually afford time to have a dog.
Yeah.
You're training.
Yeah.
So how did you transition from going from working in your business to working on your business?
It's all about sacrifice. You will be a little fearful in the sense of, I was for myself, I can only speak for myself, where, home inspections is so personable when, people want to hire you always, you're the name of the company, and the way you treat your company, nobody else would.
Yep.
But it's also believing in people who are working for you, right? And if their morals are right, the things they're looking for, they're working hard or not. I remember when I worked for another company, when I first started, my boss would tell me, okay, I have to ask you in order to see if you want to take on another inspection. And I'm like, and by the time I'd get back to him sometimes, and I used to be pretty fast, and he's like, they already hired somebody else. And I used to tell him, hey man, just give it to me. I'll do it. Like whatever it is, I'll make it happen.
Right.
Yeah, but again, to answer your question, I think it's just you just gotta believe in yourself and people who are working for you. Taking that step back and start focusing on other things, right? Like again, I would have a realtor call me like, no, Sahil, we need you to do it, right? So. Sometimes you're able, a lot of the times you're able to, sometimes you won't be able to. So where, you'd have to put your foot down and making sure you're marketing enough for your business.
You built your brand accordingly. Anytime your vehicle shows up, it's wrapped up. The guys know exactly where to take their stickers and labels and hand them off.
Yeah.
And I met you guys. You're great.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No. Again, it's a high liability business too. But they go through a lot of training. Like my first guy I first hired, I gave him training for at least 4 months before I let him go do his own inspection.
And these were inspectors that already had experience that you wanted to set a standard for?
Not necessarily all of them. My first one, I trained him pretty good. He was just becoming an inspector. So one of the inspectors that's working for me, he's got a vast construction background, right? So he knows what he's doing. So he's a little bit more hands off for me. So which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
How did you hire him? Did he reach out to you? Did you put up an ad to try to hire someone?
It's so funny you asked me that. I ran into him at an inspection. The market was crazy. You see like different inspectors, during an inspection. So I ran into him. I knew him from another company before, so I told him, I'm like, if you're ever looking for a job, just get in touch with me, right? I feel like somebody's always watching over me. The other day I was just at Kit's just having my coffee. I was in my truck and it's all logoed up. He's like, you know what, I'm just doing my schooling, why don't I You know, I am thinking about working for a company, and he gave me his details. Once he's done, you know, he's thinking about joining the company himself. Yeah. Then obviously he did his own homework too, right?
It's all timing.
Yeah.
You know what's cool, Sahil, with you? I feel like I have a different insight into your life because we're family friends. We're close.
Or brothers, we're cousins.
We're cousins. We're close.
Yeah.
So I've seen you grow over the years.
Yeah.
And even just now, you said something. Someone's watching over me.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's almost like this spiritual awakening process.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like uncharted territory. I don't know if you're prepared to answer questions about this, but I'm actually really interested in that because I've seen
you know
this.
what? Like my dad used to take me to the Gurdwara to the temple every Sunday, right? So that's ingrained into me. I believe in God. I do. I'm not sure what's going to happen when I, you know, pass away. But again, I do think things are happening, but sometimes things are not meant for me and they're happening. I don't know who's watching over me, but I do get that feeling where somebody is. So, you know within you, you know.
Sure.
I feel like when you're open to the experience, or you're open to the idea of something good to happen to you, something good is going to happen to you.
And the funniest thing is I feel like even before, and I think myself and a lot of people, they look for answers from other people elsewhere. But I think if you just sit back and ask yourself those questions are, you know, those answers are within you. You're able to answer those questions.
There's this peace and calamity that you have now that you didn't have a few years ago.
Oh, I didn't, for sure.
Right?
For sure, yeah.
It's this like cool, calm, collected, but like confident in like a non-social way.
Yeah.
Like I'm a little bit more erratic, so like I speak up, I yell, whatever.
Yeah.
Like you say a few words, but it's like you're getting your message.
The message deeper.
Yeah. You know what? I've known you as a kid. I've known you as being as pretty driven myself. Like, a funny thing is, I was telling Karnvir, I'm like, you know, I've known Rahul since he's a kid. Like, you know, ever since I've known him, he's been driven. Like, he's been doing something with his life. And funny enough, I think all my cousins are pretty driven, man. Like, in our family, I feel like I think good majority of them, 90% of them are driven. So, which makes me super happy, man.
Like the funny thing,
very driven.
The funny thing is how I met both you guys is like he knocked on my door to sell me a security system, and you showed up to my place because I didn't have a ride.
I didn't know that.
And I didn't know that. I met him before you introduced me.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you guys met during the wedding, my brother's wedding.
No, it was 7 years ago.
I actually had coffee with him. So I tried to sell him securities years back at his parents' house.
Yeah.
I realized he wasn't a customer, so we were like, let's connect.
Yeah.
Went and got coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah.
And then he moved away. He just took off.
Yeah.
He took off to the States.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and nothing kind of made sense.
And then I came back. I'm starting to do this video stuff. We reconnect, and then we connect again at your brother's wedding.
Yeah.
And then the videos just started from there.
Yeah. The funny thing is the way him and I met it's the most funniest thing. So I had a mortgage broker tell about it, and she was telling me about a realtor, and I picked up my phone, and I called him. I'm like, let's just meet for coffee. The first day we couldn't meet. The second time I called him, he's like, something happened. He's like, just come to my house. And the funny thing is, I didn't even talk to him. I ended up talking to his dad the entire time. And then I looked at him at the end. I'm like, it was nice meeting you, man. And then after that, we just became friends. Like, it's almost like, you know how I was saying earlier, like somebody's watching, like, you know, it's some sort of energy brought us together.
Yeah.
Yeah.